A researcher is wondering whether there are differences between male and female in choosing academic majors. To answer this question, today we will use a statistical test, the Cramer V correlation test, to help the researcher to answer his questions. Cramer V is a non-parametric test used to analyze correlation between two sets of nominal skill data. It can also be used as an indicator of effect size for the chi-square test. The result of Cramer V is either positive correlations, negative correlations, or no correlations. The V coefficient is ranging from -1 to 1. No correlation is found if the V value is smaller than 0.1. Weak correlation is between 0.1 to 0.29. Moderate correlation is between 0.3 to 0.49. 0.5 and above shows strong correlations. For example, V equals to 0.51 shows a strong and positive correlation. V value -0.30 indicates moderate and negative correlations. To understand the test through SPSS data analysis, we will use a research example. In this example, a research is conducted to identify whether there is difference in the choice of academic majors between male and female in upper secondary schools. In the research, 80 lower secondary students are randomly selected from a secondary school student population as the research sample. The research sample answers a questionnaire on their choice of academic major in upper secondary school. The data collected from the sample is tabulated. The two variables are gender and choice of academic major. Both variables are nominal skill data with two categories. We will use this data for analysis in SPSS. The research objective is to examine the correlation between gender and choice of academic major in upper secondary school. The research question is there any correlation between gender and choice of academic major in upper secondary schools? The research design of this study is correlational design. The two variables are connected with a double-headed arrow to form the conceptual framework of this research. Before data analysis, we need to state the research hypothesis for testing. The null hypothesis is there is no significant correlation between gender and choice of academic major in upper secondary schools. The research hypothesis is there is a significant correlation between gender and choice of academic major in upper secondary school. In hypothesis testing, if Cramer V p-value is larger than or equal to 0.05, the null hypothesis is true. We will report the result based on the null hypothesis. But if the p-value is smaller than 0.05, the research hypothesis is true. We will reject the null hypothesis and report the result based on the research hypothesis. Cramer V is a non-parametric test, so it does not have assumptions for normality and linearity of data. So there is no need to check the data for normality and linearity. Now we will start the process of analyzing the data in SPSS using the Cramer V test. Before analyzing the data, we must enter the data into SPSS. First, put the data in Microsoft Word at the left side. Then put the SPSS at the right side. In the Microsoft Word data, the first column is the respondents number. Gender and choice of academic major has two categories for each. Below the variables are the data. To label the variables, click the Variable View button. The first column is the name column. We will type the two variables' name in a single word. Type gender. For choice of academic major, we will use the word major. Note that the data are integer with 0 decimal. So we change them into 0. Now we move to the label column where we will type the full name of the variables. For the first variable, type gender. For choice of academic major, we highlight the name in Microsoft Word, right-click and select Copy. Then click the cell in SPSS, right-click and select Paste to paste it. Then we move to another important column, the value column, where we will label the categories for each variable. For gender, click at the end of the cell. Type 1 and male and click the Add button. Type 2 for female and click the Add button, then click the OK button. We have successfully labeled the two categories of gender. For choice of academic major, type 1 and science, then click the Add button. Type 2 and art, then click Add, and finally click OK. We have labeled the two categories in the second variable. Then we move to the measure column. The two variables are nominal skill data, so we select nominal for them. With this, we have successfully labeled the variable in Variable View. To enter the data into SPSS, click the Data View button. The two variables' name appeared in the data view. Highlight the data in Microsoft Word. Right-click and select Copy. In the SPSS, right-click the first cells and select Paste to paste them. The data is now ready for data analysis. I will enlarge the SPSS screen before analysis.